Hey friends, welcome to tonight's relaxing philosophy for sleep. This slow-spoken bedtime gentle narration is designed to help you unwind, clear your mind, and drift into a peaceful night's rest. Picture this: you're lying in your bed, your body melting into the softness of your sheets, the hum of a fan in the background, your eyes closing as the world fades away. It's a safe space now, where only peace exists. And here's the thing you probably never realized: philosophy could lull you to sleep so peacefully. But tonight, we're going to unlock the calm wisdom of the Stoics, who were all about the art of living calmly and mindfully. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, if you feel like it, drop your location and local time in the comments. Just curious, where in the world you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. In the ancient world, sleep was more than just a nightly routine. It was an essential part of maintaining your mental and physical well-being. The Stoics, those masters of serenity, believed sleep should not be a source of anxiety, but a time for the mind to reset, to embrace the natural rhythm of the body, and prepare for the next day's challenges. Imagine, if you will, that Stoicism is a gentle guide, pulling you away from the chaos of modern life and back to the simplicity of breathing, being, and resting. This idea wasn't just a nice to have. For the Stoics, it was a fundamental pillar of their philosophy. They knew that peace of mind was integral to both waking and sleeping. To sleep well, one must first let go of the constant chatter, the weight of things not yet done, the worries of tomorrow. Stoic sleep was about reclaiming the present, and that present began with letting go of what was outside your control. And so, as you settle into bed tonight, remember that the Stoic approach to sleep encourages you to leave behind any unhelpful thoughts. When Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote about sleep, he understood it as both a natural necessity and a process of renewal. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. He said, that same mindset, applied to the evening, becomes equally valuable when you lie down tonight. Think of how privileged you are to close your eyes and rest, to let your mind reset, and to prepare for the new day ahead. You see, sleep isn't an escape from the world, it's a peaceful return to it, return to yourself. A return to the fact that, for this moment, everything is as it should be. But before we slip deeper into that peaceful rhythm of sleep, it's essential to understand how this calming philosophy fits into our modern lives. Have you noticed how often your mind races just before sleep? The what-ifs, the unfinished tasks, the nagging worries about things that aren't even real yet. Well, the Stoics were no strangers to this. They lived in a world that was turbulent, full of challenges, and yet they found ways to maintain tranquility, especially before sleep. For them, understanding what was within their control and what wasn't was the key to freeing themselves from this mental noise. It's called the Dichotomy of Control, and it's a concept that we'll explore more as we go along. The truth is, every time we lie down to sleep, our minds are in a battle between peace and chaos. And while you may not be able to control the world outside, the Stoics believe you have complete power over your mind. You have the ability to decide which thoughts will be allowed to linger and which ones should be dismissed. The key, they say, is recognizing that it's not the external world that disturbs us, but our own judgments about it. They teach us that there's always a choice in how we react, whether we let that buzzing anxiety control us, or we calmly acknowledge it, accept its presence, and move on now. As you drift further into relaxation, let's talk about what it takes to truly let go. Imagine a mountain. In the early morning, it's covered in mist. But as the sun rises, the mist begins to lift and fade away. Your thoughts, the anxieties you're carrying tonight, are like that mist. They're there, but they don't define. You can acknowledge them, let them rise, and then, with the morning of your sleep, allow them to dissolve. The Stoics believed in the power of recognizing your thoughts without getting swept up in them. Instead of identifying yourself with your worries, they suggest a powerful shift. Simply witness them, and then let them pass. Tonight, your goal is to be a passive observer of your thoughts as they come and go, just as the mist slowly disappears. In the daylight, this idea, while simple, is revolutionary. Because here's the thing. Most of us are conditioned to respond to our thoughts and feelings as though they're all important, as though they define who we are. But Stoicism gently pulls us away from that. It says, no, you are not your worries. You are the observer, the one who notices them. That shift alone has the potential to transform how you feel just before sleep. Instead of wrestling with your thoughts, you can embrace them lightly and let them go. It's about accepting that there's no need to carry the weight of the day into your rest. And now, my friend, you're almost there. Your mind, ever so slightly, is beginning to loosen its grip on the distractions of the day. As you sink deeper into comfort, take another deep breath and remind yourself that the Stoic path is one of simplicity and acceptance. You are here, now. The world is as it is, and for tonight, that's enough. You don't need to control everything, fix everything, or anticipate everything. You are simply here to rest, to embrace the stillness, and to allow your body to recharge. For the day ahead, so, as you close your eyes now, imagine the gentle fading of your thoughts, just as the Stoics taught. Let them drift away, one by one, like soft clouds across a twilight sky. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to worry about. All is as it should be, and your mind, with each passing breath, grows more peaceful, more calm. Sleep comes easily. To those who accept that they are enough as they are, in this moment, with nothing to prove, and with that, my friend, you are ready, ready to rest, ready to sleep. As you settle deeper into your bed, your body relaxing further, it's time to explore a fundamental Stoic idea that can help you clear your mind for the night. The dichotomy of control. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast river. You see the rushing water, its currents flowing fast and fierce. And you realize something important. You can't control the flow of the river. You can't stop it, slow it down, or change its course. It's powerful and untamable. Yet, you can control how you respond to it. You can decide whether to step into the current, resist, or simply watch it move on without engaging with it. In much the same way, your thoughts and worries can often feel like the river, unstoppable, overwhelming, and beyond your control. But the Stoics teach us that while we can't control external events, we have complete power over our reactions. To them, this is where the dichotomy of control comes into play. The recognition that there are things within your control, and there are things outside of it. This idea, which forms the backbone of Stoic thought, is the key to unlocking your peace of mind as you prepare for sleep. When you lie down tonight, consider all the things on your mind, the tasks you didn't finish today, the worries about tomorrow, the endless cycle of what-ifs. These thoughts are like the rushing river, flowing through your consciousness. But here's the real breakthrough. You can choose to let them flow by without getting swept into them. Just like you wouldn't try to stop the river, you don't need to try to control every thought that passes through your mind. You simply need to acknowledge them without judgment and then gently redirect your focus, allowing them to flow away. By recognizing the dichotomy of control, you can let go of the mental noise that often prevents you from falling into restful sleep. You can tell yourself, "This is outside my control, and I will not carry it with me into the night." That shift, releasing the need to control everything, allows you to relax and drift more easily into slumber. Think about the times when you've tried to solve problems or plan ahead in the middle of the night, when your body wants rest, but your mind refuses to be quiet. It's easy to feel like you must control every aspect of your life, even in those final moments before sleep. The Stoics believed that this constant striving to control everything only leads to unnecessary stress and mental exhaustion. They saw control as something to be embraced in the right moments, but also something to be recognized as futile when it's not in our hands. By embracing this simple yet profound principle, you can learn to distinguish between what is yours to control and what is not. And when it's not, you can let it go. This, in turn, allows your mind to quiet down naturally, so you can truly rest. To better understand this, let's take a look at a common example from the Stoic philosophers. The great Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, often spoke about how we should focus on our own actions and attitudes, while accepting that we have no control over the actions or attitudes of others. The famous line from Epictetus goes like this: "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Think about that for a moment. This is where real freedom lies. The freedom to choose how you react, how you see things, and how you accept them. In the context of sleep, this means letting go of the need to control the world outside and simply focusing on your internal peace. By doing this, you are already starting the process of releasing the tension that prevents sleep. Now, imagine for a moment you're lying in bed, feeling the weight of the day. Perhaps it's been a particularly stressful day, or maybe there are unresolved issues looming in your mind. It's easy to want to change everything, to fix it all before you can rest. But here's where the dichotomy of control shines. You don't need to fix everything tonight. In fact, the only thing you need to do right now is decide that your mind deserves peace. It's a simple yet powerful shift, understanding that your thoughts, as important as they may seem, don't need to control your evening. The Stoics believed that peace of mind comes from accepting what cannot be controlled and focusing on what can. So, as you breathe deeply now, think about the things that are outside your control. Acknowledge them, but know that they don't define your present moment. Right now, the only thing you truly control is how you breathe, how you relax, and how you accept this moment as it is. And let's pause here for a quick philosophical tidbit. It's fascinating how the dichotomy of control relates not just to your thoughts, but to your physical environment as well. Take the simple act of breathing. You control your breath. Inhale and exhale is yours to command. But what about the rhythm of your heartbeat? It's not something you control directly. You can influence it by calming yourself, but you don't have direct control over it. The Stoics saw this duality all around them. We control some things, and other things are governed by forces beyond our comprehension. But by focusing on what we can control, we free ourselves from the anxiety of the things we can't. This is the secret to a calm mind before bed. It's about focusing on what you can influence: your breath, your thoughts, your attitude, and letting everything else drift away like a passing cloud. In this peaceful surrender, sleep can find its way to you now. You might be wondering, how do we really put this into practice when the world is full of external stresses and distractions? The answer lies in the practice of mindfulness, a technique that the Stoics used long before it became a modern buzzword. By being present with yourself, acknowledging the limits of your control, and gently letting go of the things outside of it, you create a space of quiet calm. This isn't about shutting off your mind or forcing yourself to stop thinking. It's about accepting your thoughts as they are, without attaching to them. So tonight, as you lie here, remember that sleep is not a battle you need to fight. It's an act of surrender. The more you accept the things you can't control, the easier it is to let go of them and slide into peaceful rest. As we move further into this journey of Stoic wisdom for a peaceful night, keep in mind the power of choice. You may not be able to control every external factor, but you have the power to choose how you respond. And in that choice lies the key to inner peace and restful sleep. As you drift further into relaxation, feel the weight of your body sink deeper into the bed. Allow each breath to draw you closer to sleep, knowing that the only thing you need to control tonight is your willingness to let go. You've already taken the first step, my friend. You've chosen to embrace peace, too. Choose tranquility over worry. And with that, you are ready to sleep. As you settle even deeper into the comfort of your bed, your body beginning to feel like it's melting into the soft sheets, let's take a moment to reflect on the transformative power of perspective. You see, the Stoics believed that one of the most significant sources of inner peace comes from shifting your perspective, especially when it comes to the way you interpret life's challenges. Tonight, as your body relaxes and prepares for sleep, think about the last few moments before you close your eyes. How often do you dwell on the events of the day, the things you didn't achieve, the worries that seemed so big in the moment? In fact, these worries can sometimes feel like a heavy burden that follows you to bed, preventing you from finding that peaceful place in your mind. But what if I told you that the way you view these situations, the perspective you choose, can change everything about how they affect you? That's what the Stoics were all about, using perspective as a tool to turn life's inevitable struggles into opportunities for growth and peace. Take a moment now and remember something that happened today, a small frustration or a worry that might be lingering in your mind. Maybe it was a conversation that didn't go as planned, or a task you didn't quite finish. It's easy for these moments to spiral and occupy your thoughts, especially when it's time to rest. But here's the thing. The Stoics teach us that it's not the event itself that causes distress, it's our interpretation of it. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, had a beautiful way of putting it. The impediment to action advances. Action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What he meant was that the obstacles, frustrations, and inconveniences that we face are not things to fear or resist. They are the very things that shape our character and lead us to growth. So, tonight, as you prepare for sleep, you might find that your mind keeps returning to an annoying situation from earlier in the day. Instead of getting tangled in thoughts of how things should have been, try shifting your perspective. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I change the way I view this event so it no longer holds power over me? Let's take a quick side trip into the realm of quirky facts, just for fun. Did you know that in ancient Greece, philosophy wasn't just about intellectual debates, it was a way of life? People would spend hours reflecting on their own thoughts, but they also relied on the art of what we call mindful detachment. They learned to not identify with their negative thoughts or emotions, seeing them as fleeting moments rather than permanent truths. This practice is directly linked to what we now call cognitive reframing in modern psychology. It's the art of changing the way you interpret events in your life to reduce stress and increase happiness. And what's amazing is that the Stoics were practicing cognitive reframing long before it became a buzzword. This might sound like a small shift, but trust me, it's transformative, especially when it comes to winding down before sleep. By recognizing that how you view a situation matters more than the situation itself, you open yourself up to a new way of being, one that promotes peace and clarity in your mind. Philosophers still argue whether our perceptions of events shape our reality, or if reality itself has a fixed, objective nature that we must adjust to. Some say our thoughts are like the lens through which we view the world, while others argue that we must simply accept what is and not try to change it. But here's a twist that might surprise you. The Stoics didn't get caught up in that debate. They were far more concerned with what you could do with your perception, rather than whether it truly reflected an objective reality. In fact, they embraced the idea that our perceptions create our reality, and thus, changing our perceptions could lead to a better life. By shifting your view of the world from seeing it as something hostile to seeing it as something full of opportunities for personal growth, you can sleep more peacefully. Why carry the weight of unnecessary distress when you can choose to see your day, your struggles, and even your setbacks as the very opportunities that lead you to wisdom and tranquility? So, now that you're lying in bed, thinking about your day and the small worries that linger, remember this: you have the power to change how you interpret those moments. That frustration you felt earlier, or the task that still looms large in your mind, doesn't have to define your night. Shift your perspective. Imagine how much lighter you will feel when you let go of the need for everything to be perfect, for every moment to be stress-free. That, my friend, is the power of perspective. And it's something the Stoics mastered. They knew that life would throw its fair share of challenges, but they also knew that the way you respond to those challenges is where the true freedom lies. Think about how liberating it would feel to embrace each day, good, bad, or neutral, as simply a part of life's ongoing flow. You don't need to hold on to each event with tight fingers. They're passing moments, fleeting moments, and as you let go of them tonight, think of them as a gentle stream flowing away. You have the choice to allow each thought, each worry, to slip through your fingers like water, and that's when sleep finds its way to you. As you relax further, let that sense of freedom wash over you, knowing that you don't need to control every detail or outcome. You can just be. You can just rest. Here's something to remember as you prepare to drift off. Tonight, the Stoics didn't see the world through rose-colored glasses. They knew that things could go wrong, people could be unkind, and life could be full of challenges. But they also knew that none of this had to disturb your peace if you didn't let it. Instead of feeling weighed down by life's hardships, you have the power to transform those moments into opportunities for growth. This understanding is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. It's exactly what will allow you to sleep soundly tonight. By shifting your perspective, you can reclaim your peace and let go of the mental clutter that often keeps you awake. Let the worries of the day float away, and as you prepare for sleep, embrace the idea that nothing in this moment needs to be fixed, judged, or changed. The only thing that matters right now is the rest that you deserve. Now that you're sinking deeper into relaxation, your body's still soft and heavy against the bed. Let's take a moment to dive into a fundamental Stoic idea that's bound to bring you peace tonight. Virtue. It's a concept that's woven into the very fabric of Stoicism, and it's central to the way they believed we should approach life. But here's the thing. Virtue, for the Stoics, was not just about doing good things in the conventional sense. It wasn't about being perfect, or constantly striving to be morally superior. It was about living in alignment with your true nature, and embracing qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. And when it comes to sleep, of all things, virtue plays an essential role in helping you prepare for rest. You see, the Stoics believed that living virtuously wasn't just something you do during the day. It was something you bring with you into the quiet moments of night as well. And that's where peace and relaxation truly begin, in knowing that you've lived today in a way that is true to your values, true to your principles. Take a deep breath as you reflect on your own life tonight. Think about the decisions you made today. Were they guided by wisdom? Did you act with courage, especially when things felt uncertain or stressful? And perhaps most importantly, did you live with temperance, knowing when to pull back and when to engage? Virtue isn't something you can simply switch on when you need it. It's a way of being, a commitment to living with integrity in each and every moment. And the beautiful part about this, my friend, is that this commitment to virtue is also a way to release yourself from the mental chatter and worries that often invade your thoughts just before sleep. Why? Because when you've lived virtuously, when you've made decisions based on wisdom and integrity, you can rest assured that you've done what you can. There's no need to carry the weight of regret, anxiety, or second-guessing into your bed. It's already been dealt with. You've acted in the best way possible, and that's enough. That's the essence of virtuous living. And it's exactly what can bring you peace tonight as you let go and slip into a restful sleep. Now, let's pause for a moment and consider how powerful this simple shift in perspective can be for your sleep. Imagine living a life where, each night, you could reflect on your day and truly believe that you've acted in a way that is aligned with your values. That's exactly what the Stoics envisioned. By focusing on virtue in each moment, they understood that the mind could be freed from the worries and uncertainties of the day. No matter what happened, no matter the external circumstances, if you lived virtuously, you could rest knowing you've done your best. There's an incredible sense of freedom in that kind of mindset. It allows you to detach from the noise of the world and from the sense that you're always striving to be better or more. It's not about reaching some ideal of perfection, it's about being true to yourself, to your values, and to your inner moral compass. And this, friends, is exactly why living virtuously creates the perfect foundation for restful sleep. Because when you live in alignment with your values, you carry no mental burdens. You don't lie awake wondering if you could have done better or if you've missed an opportunity to act rightly. You just know you did your best. That in itself is enough. And this brings us to something quite interesting. There's an old saying in the Stoic texts, "What is right is the highest good." What does this really mean? The Stoics weren't interested in abstract ideas about right or wrong. For them, it was all about living in harmony with nature and reason. Acting virtuously was the way to bring one's life into balance, into alignment with the natural world and the rational mind. And tonight, as you prepare to sleep, you might find that this simple idea has a profound impact on your mindset. By focusing on living virtuously, whether that means embracing wisdom, courage, or justice, you're aligning yourself with a higher purpose. This is more than just a practical strategy for feeling good about yourself at night. It's about tuning into the deeper rhythm of life, an understanding that when you act in accordance with your truest self, you bring peace to your mind. It's like having a quiet inner confidence that you've done your best. That's the essence of virtue, the ability to rest peacefully, knowing that you've contributed to the world in the most meaningful and authentic way you can. And that, my friend, is a gift you can give yourself tonight as you prepare for sleep. Let's step back for a second and think about the quirky side of virtue. It's fascinating to consider that the Stoics didn't just focus on personal virtue. They also understood that our actions have a ripple effect on the world around us. Imagine, if you will, that your small acts of virtue are like stones being thrown into a pond. Each action, each decision you make with wisdom, courage, and temperance sends ripples out into the world, influencing others in ways you might not even realize. It's a powerful reminder that our actions, no matter how small, matter, and just. Like that, as you lie in bed tonight, you can let go of any concerns about what you've done or haven't done, because you've been living in alignment with your values, and that alone brings peace to your mind. You don't need to carry anything with you tonight. It's all been handled. Your actions, your decisions, your commitment to virtue are all a part of the flow of life. And now, you can rest in that flow, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. So, as you let your mind quiet down and prepare to sleep, think about the virtue you've practiced today, how you've acted with integrity, how you've made choices aligned with wisdom, courage, and temperance. That, my friend, is your key to peaceful sleep. It's not about achieving some ideal of perfection, it's about knowing that you've done your best. You've acted in accordance with your values, and that's enough. With that knowledge, your mind can finally let go of the worries and anxieties that keep you awake at night. You've done the work, and now it's time to rest. So breathe deeply, release the weight of the day, and drift into sleep with the calm assurance that you've lived virtuously and with integrity. That's the essence of Stoic peace, and it's yours, right here, right now. As you begin to feel the weight of the day lift off your shoulders, let's take a moment to explore the Stoic idea of acceptance specifically. The kind of acceptance that leads to tranquility and peace before you drift into a deep sleep. Acceptance, in the Stoic sense, isn't about giving up or resigning yourself to a passive existence. It's about embracing the reality of what is, letting go of what you cannot change, and finding peace in the present moment. This is a crucial step in allowing yourself to truly relax, as acceptance frees your mind from the endless loop of what-ifs that often plague our thoughts before sleep. Think about it. How often do you lie awake, replaying the events of the day, wishing you had said something differently or wishing things had turned out another way? It's like an internal tug-of-war where you're trying to control outcomes that have already passed. But here's the reality check. The Stoics understood that the more we fight against what is, the more we prolong our suffering. Instead, they taught us to accept things as they are, not as we wish them to be. This acceptance isn't about giving up on improvement, it's about choosing peace right here, right now. So, take a deep breath. As you lie in bed, reflect on the things that might be keeping you awake, the things you couldn't control during the day, the things that didn't go as planned. Maybe you didn't finish everything you wanted to do, or perhaps a conversation left you feeling unsettled. These are the moments that often creep into our minds just before sleep. But it's important to remember that resistance to these things only creates more tension. The Stoics believed that the path to serenity was paved with acceptance, and in that acceptance, we find freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from worry, and freedom from the need to control every outcome. You can't change what happened today, just as you can't control tomorrow. The only thing that is within your grasp is how you respond in this very moment. And right now, in the quiet of your bed, the best response is to let go. Let go of the thoughts that are keeping you awake. Let go of the desire to change the past. Let go of the things you cannot control. By accepting what is, you free yourself from the mental clutter that blocks your path to restful sleep. Acceptance doesn't mean being passive, though. It's an active choice to focus your energy on what truly matters. The Stoics often spoke of focusing on what is within our control and releasing the rest. This concept was central to their philosophy and remains incredibly powerful today. When you accept what you cannot change, you shift your energy away from frustration and toward action that is meaningful. So, as you lay here tonight, think about the things that are within your control. Maybe it's your breath, maybe it's your attitude toward the day's events, or perhaps it's simply the way you choose to release tension in your body. These are the things that matter right now, and when you focus on them, you give yourself the freedom to rest fully and deeply. You can be present with your body, with your breath, and with the stillness of the night. Acceptance allows you to be fully immersed in this peaceful moment, without the weight of the past or the uncertainty of the future. The beauty of Stoic acceptance is that it aligns with the natural flow of life. The Stoics believed that everything happens for a reason, and while we may not always understand why things unfold as they do, we can trust that there is a larger order to the universe. In this moment, as you prepare for sleep, you can choose to accept that everything that happened today, both the good and the bad, is part of the flow of life. The universe is not an obstacle to be conquered. It's a process to be experienced. And by accepting it, you open yourself to peace. In essence, acceptance is a form of surrendering to the present moment, to the natural flow of life, and to the knowledge that you don't need to control every detail. You can trust that you've done what you could today, and now it's time to rest. There's nothing more to be done tonight, and this is the moment to embrace that truth fully. Acceptance doesn't mean you're ignoring the things that could be better, or that you're giving up on personal growth. Quite the opposite, it means that you're freeing yourself from the weight of perfectionism and unnecessary stress. It's about choosing to rest your mind so that you can wake up tomorrow with renewed energy and clarity. The Stoics weren't advocating for a passive life, but rather for a life of mindful awareness and action. Acceptance of the present moment doesn't mean inaction, it means being fully present and engaged, with the knowledge that you can act in alignment with your values without the added burden of unrealistic expectations. So tonight, as you lie here, practice that deep acceptance. Accept yourself as you are in this moment. Accept the day's events, both the successes and the challenges. Accept the fact that you've done your best today, and that's all that matters. You don't need to solve everything tonight. You don't need to fix everything. You've already lived, and now you deserve to rest. Let's take a quirky detour here for a moment. Did you know that the ancient Stoics practiced a kind of sleep hygiene long before it became a modern trend? They didn't have the fancy gadgets or apps that we do today, but they understood that good sleep was rooted in a peaceful mind and a balanced life. They practiced acceptance in every part of their day, from their morning routine to their evening rest. And this practice, grounded in the wisdom of acceptance, was a key element in their ability to live with tranquility and joy. Their sleep hygiene was simple: accept the present moment, let go of what you cannot control, and rest with a peaceful heart. It's no coincidence that their teachings still resonate with us today, as we search for ways to find calm and relaxation in our busy, often chaotic lives. As you sink deeper into your bed, let the peace of acceptance wash over you. Feel it in your breath, feel it in your body, feel it in your mind. Whatever happened today, whatever you might be worried about tomorrow, let it go. Accept what is. There is nothing more to be done right now. You've done your best, and now it's time to rest. The Stoics knew that the key to true tranquility was acceptance of what is. And by embracing this practice, you allow your mind to find the stillness it needs for restful sleep. There's nothing more to fix, nothing more to prove. Just peace. Just acceptance. Just the quiet serenity of being present in this moment, knowing that tomorrow is a new day, and all you need to do now is rest. As your body continues to settle into the warm embrace of your bed, your muscles unwinding and your mind beginning to quiet, let's explore a practice that the Stoics held close: the power of gratitude. Now, I know what you might be thinking is often talked about as just a feel-good concept, something people mention in passing during motivational speeches. But for the Stoics, gratitude was much more than that. It was a deliberate, intentional practice that helped them stay grounded, regardless of life's challenges. And tonight, as you prepare for sleep, taking a moment to cultivate gratitude can be a powerful way to clear your mind and invite peace. Imagine that you're sitting in a quiet room with a warm light shining through the window. You can feel the comfort of the chair beneath you, the soft glow around the room. Now, picture all the things in your life that you can feel grateful for in this very moment. It could be the roof over your head, the warmth of the blankets, or simply the fact that you're alive to experience this quiet peace. Gratitude, the Stoics believed, wasn't about pretending that everything was perfect. It was about recognizing and appreciating what you already have, right here and now. As you lie there, think about the small blessings that often go unnoticed throughout the day. Maybe it's the friend who sent you a kind message, the moment you enjoyed a cup of tea, or even the simple act of being able to pause and reflect on your day before sleep. The Stoics practiced this form of gratitude every day, and they understood that it could transform the way we see the world. Marcus Aurelius, for example, wrote in his Meditations about the importance of reflecting on the things he was thankful for. He didn't focus on what was missing or what was wrong, he focused on what was present and good. Tonight, as you lie in bed, you can begin to do the same. Close your eyes and, in the quiet of the night, take inventory of the blessings in your life. It doesn't matter how big or small they seem, just take a moment to appreciate them. By doing so, you gently shift your focus away from the worries that may keep you up at night, and you allow your mind to be filled with a sense of gratitude and peace. This simple yet profound practice of gratitude isn't just a way to improve your mood, it's also a key to cultivating a deeper sense of inner calm. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you create a mental shift that prevents you from dwelling on negativity, regret, or future anxieties. Instead, you direct your attention toward the present, toward what is good in your life right now. And as you take those deep breaths, inhaling slowly and exhaling gently, imagine that each breath is filled with gratitude. Think about how your body feels as it sinks deeper into relaxation, and allow that gratitude to spread throughout your entire being. This practice of mindful gratitude is one that the Stoics used to train their minds, helping them maintain a sense of peace in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. They didn't wait for something extraordinary to happen before they expressed thanks. They did it every day, in the quiet moments, in the midst of their routines. And in doing so, they cultivated a sense of contentment that transcended external circumstances. One of the things that might surprise you about gratitude is that it's not just about feeling thankful for the big things in life, your job, your health, your family. While those things are certainly worth appreciating, the Stoics believed that true contentment came from being grateful for the little things. Epictetus, another great Stoic philosopher, famously said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This idea of contentment can be extended to gratitude as well. When you can feel thankful for even the smallest of moments, like the quiet rhythm of your breath, the softness of your pillow, or the peacefulness of the night, your heart and mind open to a deep sense of inner peace. You stop looking for external validation or for something more to be happy. You realize that the present moment, with all its simplicity, is enough. And in this realization, sleep becomes a natural and peaceful transition. Philosophers still debate the nature of gratitude. Is it a natural human response, or is it something we must deliberately cultivate? Some argue that gratitude is an innate feeling that arises spontaneously in response to positive experiences, while others believe that it's a practice that requires effort and intention. The Stoics, however, would likely argue that both views are valid. While feelings of gratitude might naturally arise in moments of joy or kindness, it is the deliberate practice of gratitude that transforms the way we experience life. By making gratitude a regular part of your daily routine, just as the Stoics did, you begin to shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. And in doing so, you open yourself to the peace that comes with knowing that you have everything you need in this moment. You are enough, and the world around you is enough. Let's take a moment to imagine the effect that this practice of gratitude can have on your mind as you prepare for sleep. Instead of focusing on what went wrong today, instead of letting your mind race with worries about the future, you choose to focus on what is good and right. You choose to be thankful for the small blessings, the quiet moments, and the sense of peace that you can cultivate right now. Imagine how much more relaxed you will feel knowing that you have everything you need in this very moment. And as you lie there, slowly drifting into sleep, let that sense of gratitude become the last thing on your mind. Know that, in this moment, you are exactly where you need to be, and all that you have is enough. There is no need for more, and there is no need to strive for something better. You can simply be, and in that being, you can find peace. This practice of gratitude, rooted in Stoic wisdom, is one that you can carry with you every night. It's a tool for calming your mind, quieting your thoughts, and inviting peaceful sleep. So tonight, as you rest your head on your pillow, take a moment to appreciate everything that has brought you to this point: the good, the bad, the small blessings, and the quiet moments. All of it has led you here, to this peaceful night, and for that, you can be grateful. And with that, you can sleep easy, knowing that tomorrow will bring more opportunities for gratitude, peace, and growth. As you lie there, deeply nestled into the comfort of your bed, let's dive into a reflection on the Stoic understanding of time and how it relates to the present moment, especially as you prepare for sleep. Time, as the Stoics saw it, is both fleeting and precious. They didn't view time as an endless resource to be hoarded or wasted. Instead, they recognized that each moment is an opportunity, and the way you spend that time defines the quality of your life. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. It's a stark thought, isn't it? But it carries with it a profound truth. We don't have control over how much time we have left. What we do have control over, however, is how we spend the time we have right now. And tonight, as you settle into this peaceful moment, it's a perfect opportunity to embrace the wisdom of the Stoics and reflect on your relationship with time. For sleep, of course, is one of the most natural ways we spend our time, and the Stoic way to approach it is with mindfulness and appreciation, fully aware that it is a moment of restoration and not something to dread or resist. You see, so often, in modern life, we see time as a ticking clock, something to be filled with tasks, productivity, and to-do lists. This mindset can make us feel like there's always more to do, always something we're missing out on, and always an impending sense of urgency. We carry that mindset with us into the night, trying to finish that last bit of work, or mentally replaying the day's events as if somehow that will allow us to catch up on time. The Stoics, however, believed that true wisdom came from recognizing the value of each moment, whether it was spent working, relaxing, or sleeping. There's no need to rush or overburden yourself with unnecessary tasks. The key is to live fully in each moment, giving it the attention and focus it deserves. So, as you prepare to close your eyes tonight, think of sleep not as a waste of time, but as an essential part of the cycle of life. It's your body's natural way of rejuvenating, so that you can wake up tomorrow refreshed and ready to live fully. You've earned this rest, and in that sense, it's just as valuable as the waking hours spent in action. This brings us to a simple but profound realization. The present moment is the only time that is truly ours. The past is gone, and the future has yet to come. And while the Stoics didn't ignore the importance of planning or learning from the past, they placed a heavy emphasis on the present. Why? Because the present is where we can actually make choices, where we can be aware, and where we can fully engage in the act of living. So, tonight, as you slip deeper into relaxation, think of this moment as the most important one. Everything that's happened today is already behind you, and everything that will come tomorrow is still far in the future. Right now, this moment, this exact moment is yours to experience fully. By embracing the present, you free yourself from the mental burden of past regrets or future anxieties. Your mind becomes lighter, more open to the peace that comes with true presence. And this, my friend, is the perfect way to prepare for sleep, by honoring the present and letting go of everything else. One of the quirkiest aspects of this Stoic perspective on time is the way they viewed procrastination for many of us. Procrastination is a source of guilt and stress. We often delay things, promising ourselves that we'll handle them tomorrow, but in doing so, we create more anxiety. The Stoics, however, saw procrastination as a kind of misalignment with the natural flow of time. Time is fleeting, they understood, and delaying action only serves to pile up unnecessary tension. Instead, they taught that we should embrace each moment fully and act with purpose. Now, this doesn't mean rushing or overextending yourself. It means recognizing that each moment holds its own value. Sleep, for example, isn't something to be delayed or resented. It's a necessary part of life that allows you to reset, recharge, and prepare for what's ahead. So, tonight, as you lie in bed, embrace the gift of sleep without guilt or resistance. It's a vital use of your time. In fact, the Stoics would argue that getting a good night's rest is an act of wisdom, because it enables you to be more focused, productive, and present when you wake up. Sleep isn't an interruption, It's a necessary part of living with intention and balance. Philosophers still debate how we should understand time. Is it something linear that always moves forward, or is it cyclical, repeating and returning in various forms? Some suggest that time exists in fixed units, governed by clocks and calendars, while others see it as an endless flow, with each moment intertwined with the next. The Stoics didn't get bogged down in these debates. They focused instead on how we can live meaningfully within the time we're given. Whether time is linear or cyclical doesn't matter. What matters is how we engage with it. And this brings us back to tonight, where you have the opportunity to engage with time in a way that nourishes your mind and body. Sleep is part of that engagement. It's not a wasted period of time. It's an essential part of your natural rhythm. By embracing the time you have now to rest, you're honoring the flow of life and giving yourself the chance to wake up tomorrow with renewed energy and clarity as you prepare to drift into a peaceful sleep. Think of this: every breath you take is an opportunity to fully experience the present moment. Every second you spend resting is a gift to yourself, a gift that allows you to engage more fully with the world when you wake up. The Stoics understood that time was finite, but they also understood that how we spend our time is what truly matters. Tonight, as you close your eyes, you are spending your time wisely by allowing yourself the rest you need. Let go of any worries about what you've done or haven't done today. Instead, honor this moment as the precious gift that it is. Time, as the Stoics saw it, is our most valuable resource, and you are spending it wisely now, embracing rest as a vital part of your well-being. So breathe deeply, release any remaining tension, and know that the time you are spending right now is exactly what you need. In the morning, you'll wake up refreshed, ready to continue living with purpose. But for now, let time slip away as you surrender to the peaceful embrace of sleep. As you continue to relax into your bed, your body sinking deeper into the softness of your sheets, let's take a moment to consider the timeless Stoic idea of perception versus reality. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the belief that our thoughts and perceptions shape our experience of the world. We don't experience the world as it truly is. Instead, we experience it through the lens of our perceptions. This is powerful because it means that we have the ability to change how we experience the world simply by changing how we view it. Imagine you're looking at a sunset. For some, it may feel like a fleeting moment of beauty, something to be appreciated. But for others, it might feel like just another sunset, passing unnoticed, or it could even bring about a feeling of sadness as the day ends. The sunset itself hasn't changed. It's the same event for everyone. What's different is how each person perceives it. This is a concept that the Stoics understood deeply, that the world is full of events, but it is our judgments about those events that create our emotional responses. Tonight, as you lie here, preparing to sleep, think about the role perception plays in your own life. How do you perceive the events of your day? Do you see them through a lens of positivity, opportunity, and growth? Or do you focus on the negatives, the things that didn't go well? The Stoics taught that by changing the way we perceive the world, we can change the way we feel about it, and this, in turn, can help us find peace in any situation. Take a moment now to reflect on your day. Perhaps there were moments that frustrated you, or things that didn't go as planned. It's easy to focus on these moments, to let them linger in your mind as you prepare for sleep. But here's the Stoic twist. Those frustrations are only frustrations because of how you're choosing to view them. You have the power to change your perception of those moments. Instead of seeing them as failures or setbacks, what if you saw them as opportunities to learn and grow? The Stoics didn't shy away from hardship, they embraced it. They understood that every difficulty was an opportunity to practice virtue and build resilience. So tonight, as you lie in bed, reflect on the challenges of your day, not with judgment, but with acceptance. See them as moments that shaped you, that allowed you to grow. Remember that your perception of those events is in your control, and by shifting that perception, you can free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. You can choose to view the world through a lens of peace and acceptance, rather than frustration and resistance. Let's take a quick detour into the quirky side of perception. Did you know that our brains are wired to focus on the negative? It's called the negativity bias, and it's a survival mechanism. Our ancestors needed to focus on threats to stay alive, so our brains became finely tuned to notice what was wrong or dangerous. But in today's world, this bias doesn't always serve us well. We're constantly bombarded with negative information. It's in the news, social media, or our personal lives, and it's easy to fall into the trap of focusing on what's wrong. The Stoics, however, understood this natural tendency and worked to counteract it. They made a deliberate effort to shift their focus from the negative to the positive, to see the good in every situation, no matter how small. This wasn't about ignoring the challenges of life. It was about choosing to focus on what was within their control, their thoughts, their reactions, and their perceptions. By doing so, they were able to find peace in the midst of difficulty. And tonight, as you lie in bed, you can apply this same principle. Instead of focusing on what went wrong today, choose to focus on what went right. Choose to focus on the positive aspects of your day, however small they may seem. This shift in perception will not only help you find peace, but it will also set the stage for a restful, rejuvenating sleep. Philosophers still argue whether we can ever truly perceive reality as it is. Some believe that our perceptions are always filtered through our biases, our past experiences, and our emotions, while others argue that we can train ourselves to see the world more objectively. The Stoics, however, weren't concerned with whether we could ever perceive reality perfectly. Instead, they focused on how we could improve our perception to better align with truth and virtue. They knew that while we might never see the world perfectly, we could certainly choose to view it in a way that promotes peace and happiness. And that's the Stoic approach to perception. It's not about getting rid of all negativity or hardship, but about changing how we react to it and how we choose to view it. By doing so, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and create a mindset that allows us to live with greater peace and contentment. As you lie here, getting ready to fall asleep, take a moment to practice this Stoic exercise. Reflect on a situation that bothered you today. Maybe there was something that didn't go as planned, or perhaps a moment when you felt stressed or frustrated. Now, without judgment, try to reframe that moment. Can you see it from a different perspective? Can you find something positive in it, or something that you learned from the experience? This practice of reframing is a powerful tool for changing your perception, and it's something the Stoics used regularly. By choosing to see the world through a lens of acceptance, growth, and opportunity, you can train your mind to respond more peacefully to challenges, and this will bring you more restful sleep. And now, as you prepare to drift off into the calm of the night, let go of the need to control your perceptions perfectly. Instead, simply acknowledge that your thoughts are your own, and you have the power to change them. The world is full of events and circumstances, but it's your perception of those events that shapes your experience. And tonight, as you slip, Into sleep, choose to see the world through a lens of peace, gratitude, and acceptance. Choose to see the day's challenges as opportunities for growth, and let go of the need to control everything. As you do, you'll find that sleep comes more easily, and your mind settles into a peaceful, restful state. You are in control of your perception, and in that control, you find the key to a peaceful mind and a restful night's sleep. As you sink even deeper into your bed, your muscles now fully relaxed and your breath slowing, it's time to reflect on one of the Stoics' most transformative teachings, the embrace of the present moment. This is a concept that echoes through the writings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca alike, and it's central to understanding how we can free ourselves from the mental clutter that often keeps us awake. In our modern lives, the present moment is frequently overlooked. Our minds race ahead to future concerns or linger on past regrets. But the Stoics taught us that true peace is found in the now. Tonight, as you lie in bed, this is the perfect opportunity to practice being present. Imagine that all the distractions, the to-do lists, the worries, the anxieties are like ripples on the surface of a calm lake. The only thing you need to do right now is let them be, allowing your attention to return to the present moment. The Stoics understood that when we stop striving, when we stop endlessly chasing the future, we allow ourselves to experience life as it truly is. This doesn't mean that you should abandon your goals or ignore the future. It simply means that you must give yourself permission to rest, to be still, and to embrace the moment without the need to change or control it. This is the beauty of living in the present. It's the only moment we truly have, and it is enough. Take a deep breath now, and bring your awareness back to the sensation of your body resting against the bed. Notice the soft rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Notice the coolness of the air on your skin. You might feel a slight tension somewhere in your body, a remnant of the day's activities. Without judgment, simply notice it and allow it to be. The Stoics believed that in every moment we have a choice. We can either resist what is happening, or we can accept it and be at peace. Tonight, you have the opportunity to practice that acceptance, to allow everything to be just as it is. When you stop trying to change the present moment, you stop fighting with yourself and the world around you. In doing so, you open up the space for peace. The Stoics understood that peace is not found in an absence of difficulty, but in the ability to be at peace despite it. There's a fascinating practice that the Stoics used called negative visualization. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's a powerful tool for focusing on the present moment. The practice involves imagining, just for a moment, the things you're afraid of: losing your health, your loved ones, your job. The goal isn't to dwell on these fears, but rather to recognize that all things are temporary. By acknowledging the fleeting nature of life, you develop a deeper appreciation for the present moment. You realize how much you have right now, and you begin to feel less attached to what may or may not happen in the future. Tonight, as you lie here preparing for sleep, think about the things you are grateful for in this moment. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed, the comfort of the sheets, or the quietness of the night. Perhaps it's the knowledge that you are safe, that you have taken the time to relax, and that you've done your best today. Whatever it is, recognize how fleeting these moments are and appreciate them fully. This doesn't mean that you need to fear the future or dread the unknown. Simply means that you acknowledge the preciousness of the present, which is all we ever truly have. Philosophers still debate whether living in the present is truly possible. Some argue that our minds are naturally oriented toward the past and future, while others insist that living fully in the moment is achievable with practice. The Stoics, however, believed that while it might not always be easy, living in the present was essential for a peaceful mind. They didn't advocate for ignoring the past or the future. They recognized that those things exist and have their place. But what they emphasized was that we should not allow the past to weigh us down, nor should we let the future steal our peace. The present is the only time when we can act, when we can choose how we respond to life, and it is in the present that we find true freedom. Tonight, as you let go of any lingering thoughts about the past or future, remember that all you need to do right now is rest. There is nothing you need to do except allow your body and mind to settle into a peaceful state. A quirky side note: did you know that many spiritual and philosophical traditions talk about the importance of being present, though they express it in different ways? The Stoics, of course, focused on it from a practical standpoint, teaching us to be present in the face of challenges and to accept life as it is. Meanwhile, in Buddhism, mindfulness is a central practice, and it too encourages awareness of the present moment. And even in modern psychology, mindfulness meditation has become a popular tool for reducing stress and increasing well-being. It seems that, no matter where you look, the importance of the present moment is universally recognized. It's a universal key to mental peace and emotional balance. As you continue to breathe deeply, allow yourself to come back to this present moment again and again. You don't need to push away your thoughts or make them disappear. Instead, simply notice them, acknowledge them, and then return your focus to the here and now. Every time you do this, you strengthen your ability to live more peacefully in the present. And tonight, as you prepare for sleep, this practice becomes even more important. The Stoics understood that sleep is not an escape from the world, but rather a return to the natural rhythms of life. Sleep, for them, was a time to rest the body and mind, to accept the day for what it was, and to prepare for the next. They didn't see sleep as a waste of time or something to dread. They saw it as an essential part of living well. And by practicing mindfulness tonight, you allow sleep to become a peaceful and restorative process, rather than something you resist or fear. So, as you lie here, relaxed and at ease, remember this: the present moment is where your peace lies. It's the only moment you ever truly control, and by embracing it fully, you allow yourself to rest deeply and without worry. As you close your eyes and drift off to sleep, remember that everything you need for peace is right here, right now. The past is done, the future is unknown, and all that matters is this moment. Allow yourself to be fully present, and in that presence, you will find the quiet stillness that leads to restful sleep. As you settle further into your bed, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your chest, let's explore one of the more unexpected and fascinating Stoic ideas, the embrace of death. Now, I know this might sound a little jarring, especially when you're trying to relax and drift off to sleep, but bear with me. The Stoics didn't view death with fear or anxiety. Instead, they saw it as a natural part of life, something that could actually help them live more fully and peacefully. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be a good man. In other words, death is inevitable, and acknowledging this truth doesn't make life grim or depressing. Frees us to live more intentionally. By contemplating the reality of our mortality, we are reminded of what truly matters. and we are encouraged to live each day with purpose and clarity. This Stoic practice of memento mori, remembering that you will die, might seem dark, but it's actually deeply liberating. It's a reminder that our time here is limited, and that we should make the most of each precious moment. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, this contemplation can offer you a sense of calm and peace. You are here now, alive and breathing, and in this moment, you have everything you need to rest deeply. So, take a moment to reflect on the simple truth that you, like all of us, will one day face death. It's not a morbid thought, till simply a fact of life, one that we often try to avoid thinking about, but the Stoics believed that by contemplating our mortality, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the present. When we remember that our time is finite, we stop wasting it on trivial worries or regrets. Instead, we focus on living in a way that reflects our true values. As you lie here, preparing for sleep, this reflection doesn't need to be heavy or overwhelming. Instead, it can be a gentle reminder to let go of anything that is weighing you down, whether it's the small anxieties of the day, the things you wish you'd done differently, or the worries about the future. Death is inevitable, and rather than fearing it, the Stoics encouraged us to use it as a tool for living a better life. By acknowledging our mortality, we free ourselves from the fear that often holds us back from living authentically and peacefully. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine letting go of any lingering concerns or distractions. You don't need to hold on to anything tonight. Everything you have done today is complete, and there is nothing more you need to prove. Death, the Stoics believed, helps us see the true value of time. It reminds us that we are not invincible, that we are not promised endless days ahead. This recognition isn't meant to be morbid, it's meant to inspire a sense of urgency to live fully, to embrace each day with purpose, and to accept the present moment as it is. As you drift closer to sleep, consider the things that truly matter to you. What are the things you want to focus on in your life? What values do you want to uphold? When we reflect on death, we often realize that the trivial concerns we carry with us into the night aren't worth the wait. They fade into the background as we realize what truly deserves our attention: peace, love, growth, and acceptance. In a quirky way, contemplating death also brings a sense of freedom. It allows us to stop fighting against the flow of life, stop resisting the inevitable, and instead accept what comes with a sense of calm and grace. The Stoics didn't believe in trying to outrun death or deny its existence. Instead, they believed in living a virtuous life and accepting death when it comes as a natural part of existence. By practicing this kind of acceptance, we're able to live more peacefully. And as you lie here tonight, this acceptance of death helps you let go of any lingering fears or anxieties about the future. There's no need to worry about what's to come, because in this moment, you are here, you are alive, and that's all that matters for now. Philosophers still debate whether contemplating death is a healthy practice. Some argue that it can inspire a sense of urgency and purpose, while others believe it may cause unnecessary anxiety. But the Stoics found it to be one of the most liberating practices because it gave them a sense of perspective. They recognized that we can't control how or when we die, but we can control how we live. By focusing on what we can do in the present moment, we free ourselves from the fear of the future. And tonight, as you prepare for rest, you can use this understanding to create a sense of peace. Death is not something to fear, it's something that gives life meaning. In the grand scheme of things, the little worries we carry around with us seem insignificant. And by accepting death, we also accept the impermanence of everything else. This acceptance, this release of the need to control what is beyond our power, allows us to sleep more soundly, knowing that we are living fully in the present as you continue to relax. Feel the weight of your body sink deeper into the bed, and allow yourself to release any remaining tension. You don't need to do anything right now except rest. The Stoics believed that to live well, one must practice virtue, accept the reality of mortality, and embrace the present moment. So tonight, as you reflect on the impermanence of life, you can also reflect on the richness of the present. Every breath you take is a reminder that you are alive, that you are here, and that you have everything you need in this moment. You don't need to worry about the past or the future, because right now, you are exactly where you need to be. Embrace the stillness, embrace the peace, and let it guide you into a restful sleep. The Stoics understood that life is fleeting, and that is why we must make the most of each moment by living with intention, embracing death as a part of life, and fully experiencing the present. Tonight, as you sleep, you are honoring that. Practice allowing your mind to rest and your body to recharge, knowing that tomorrow is a new day with new opportunities to live fully. As you sink even deeper into your bed, your body now feeling lighter, your mind quieter. Let's take a moment to reflect on how Stoicism encourages us to live with intentionness before we sleep. In a world that constantly urges us to rush, accomplish, and push forward, the Stoics understood that true peace and clarity come not from endless striving, but from living intentionally and in alignment with our values. Before sleep, this practice becomes particularly meaningful. We live in an age of constant distraction. It's easy to fall into the habit of letting our days pass by in a blur, checking off tasks without ever truly engaging with the moment. The Stoics, however, believed that we should approach each moment with purpose, and this extends to how we spend our time before sleep. When you go to bed, the Stoics would urge you to reflect on how you spent the day, whether you acted in accordance with your highest values, and whether you lived with intention. The beautiful part of this reflection is that it allows us to let go of regrets or anxieties. If there were moments in the day where we didn't act as we would have liked, we have the opportunity to learn and improve, but we don't need to carry the weight of those moments into the night. Instead, we can choose to rest with the knowledge that we've done our best with the time we had. Tonight, as you lie here, take a moment to reflect on your own day. Without judgment, consider the ways in which you lived with intention. Were you true to your values? Did you act with wisdom, kindness, and purpose? If not, that's okay. This isn't about perfection. The Stoics understood that no one could live flawlessly, but they also believed that by practicing intentionality, we could live a life that was more aligned with our true selves. You have done what you could today. Even the smallest actions can be filled with intention, and by recognizing them, you affirm that each day, no matter how busy or chaotic, can be an opportunity to live meaningfully. The act of reflecting on your day before bed allows you to release any lingering stress or regret. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong or what you didn't accomplish, you can choose to focus on how you lived in alignment with your values, and appreciate the progress you've made, however small it may seem. Take a deep breath now, and imagine releasing any lingering tension in your body, any unnecessary thoughts or judgments about the day. The Stoics taught that we are not defined by our past actions, but by how we respond to them. You have the power to respond with acceptance and reflection, learning from what was, and letting go of what no longer serves you. The act of intentional living does not require you to be perfect. It requires you to be present and aware. And tonight, as you prepare for sleep, it's the perfect time to let go of any remaining stress. You've done what you could today, and now it's time to rest. By practicing intentionality, even in how you approach sleep, you invite calm and peace into your mind. This mindfulness doesn't just lead to better sleep, leads to a more fulfilling life overall. Each night, as you reflect on your actions, you build a habit of living with greater purpose and clarity, bringing your mind and body into harmony before rest. Here's something interesting to consider. One of the reasons the Stoics placed such an emphasis on living with intention is that they understood how easily we can get caught up in the external world, losing touch with our true values. They recognized that our time and energy are finite, and they encouraged us to focus on what truly matters. This can sometimes be difficult in a world that constantly bombards us with distractions, but intentional living is a way of cutting through the noise and making choices that reflect our highest aspirations. For example, before you sleep, think about how your day fits into the bigger picture of your life. Did you spend time on things that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment? Or did you get caught up in the daily grind, feeling like you were just going through the motions? The Stoics believed that by taking a step back and examining our actions, we could refocus our energy on what really matters. So, tonight, as you prepare for sleep, reflect on the ways you lived intentionally, and as you do, let go of any judgment or self-criticism. You did your best today, and you will do your best tomorrow. By living intentionally, you're already on the path to peace. Philosophers still debate whether we can truly live intentionally in every moment, or if our lives are too influenced by external forces. Some believe that intentionality is something we must practice consciously, while others argue that it is an innate quality that can be cultivated over time. The Stoics, however, were more focused on the ability to respond thoughtfully to each moment, regardless of external circumstances. They knew that life is unpredictable, but they also believed that we can control how we approach each situation. This is where intentionality comes in. It's not about controlling everything, but about being aware of our choices and responding in alignment with our values. It's about living with a sense of purpose, even when life throws us curveballs. And tonight, as you reflect on your day, you can choose to approach your sleep with the same intentionality. This doesn't mean you need to make every thought or action deliberate. It simply means being present and aware of how you approach each moment. When you sleep with intention, you honor your body's need for rest and rejuvenation, and you honor your mind's need for calm as you continue to relax. Let the concept of intentional living seep into your thoughts. Imagine that every moment of your day, no matter how small, was an opportunity to live with purpose. Each breath you take, each action you make, can be filled with intention. It doesn't matter if your day was busy or if you didn't accomplish everything you set out to do. What matters is that you lived in alignment with your values, and you allowed each moment to be as meaningful as possible. Now, as you prepare to sleep, let go of any attachment to the outcomes of the day. You don't need to be perfect, and you don't need to have everything figured out. All you need to do is rest, knowing that you lived today with intention. Sleep, for the Stoics, was not just a time to rest the body, was a time to release the mind, to let go of any mental clutter, and to surrender to the present moment. Tonight, as you fall asleep, allow yourself to rest deeply, knowing that you lived today as best as you could, and tomorrow is a new opportunity to do the same. As you continue to settle into your bed, your body now completely relaxed, and your breath flowing effortlessly. Let's explore another essential Stoic principle: self-control. It's an idea that the Stoics viewed as central to living a peaceful, meaningful life. The ancient Stoics recognized that, as human beings, we're often subject to our impulses and desires, whether that's the urge to stay up late, overeat, or dwell on negative thoughts. But the Stoics understood that true freedom comes not from the ability to indulge every impulse, but from mastering ourselves and choosing how we respond to those impulses. The practice of self-control is not about denying yourself enjoyment or satisfaction. It's about understanding the difference between what you need and what you want. When you lie down to sleep tonight, consider how self-control plays a role in your ability to find peace. Perhaps there are things on your mind that keep you awake, or a lingering sense of restlessness that you can't quite shake. The Stoics would remind you that this sense of restlessness comes from being at the mercy of your impulses. You may want to stay up longer, check your phone, or keep thinking about the day. But self-control teaches us that we don't need to act on every impulse. In fact, it's through practicing restraint and choosing calm that we find true peace. Now, as you lie here, consider the ways in which you've practiced self-control today. Maybe there were moments when you felt the urge to react impulsively, whether it was to argue with someone, to eat something unhealthy, or to worry about something beyond your control. In those moments, self-control is the ability to pause, to take a breath, and to choose a response that aligns with your values. Perhaps there was a moment today when you allowed yourself to feel calm in the face of stress, or when you made a conscious decision to rest rather than push through exhaustion. These moments are what the Stoics would call victories of self-control. You don't need to be perfect, and you certainly don't need to be a Stoic sage to practice this. Every small act of restraint, every moment you choose to act with intention and patience, builds the foundation for a peaceful, balanced life. And tonight, as you prepare for sleep, that practice of self-control becomes your pathway to rest. By choosing to let go of the thoughts and worries that might keep you up, you're practicing self-control, allowing yourself the freedom to rest deeply and wake up refreshed. Take a deep breath now, and as you exhale, imagine letting go of any remaining tension in your body. Let go of the mental chatter, the thoughts about the day that keep coming back. This is your time to rest, to practice the art of self-control by choosing peace over anxiety. The Stoics believed that self-control was key to leading a life of virtue, and they saw it as a way to create harmony between the body and the mind. When we give in to every impulse or desire, we create internal conflict. But when we practice self-control, we align our actions with our higher purpose, and we find peace in knowing that we are in control of ourselves. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware of your choices and making decisions that serve your well-being. As you prepare for sleep tonight, consider how you can practice self-control in the most positive way. It's not about denying yourself sleep or rest. It's about choosing to let go of anything that could disturb your peace and allowing your body and mind to rest fully in a world that constantly encourages indulgence and instant gratification. Practicing self-control can feel like a radical act. We live in a society that rewards productivity, busyness, and the constant pursuit of more. But the Stoics taught us that true happiness doesn't come from external achievements or possessions, it comes from within. Self-control is the ability to choose peace over the relentless drive to do more, to be more. It's the ability to step back, to slow down, and to recognize that you are enough as you are, right here in this moment. As you lie here, think about the ways in which you have allowed yourself to rest, to be present, and to enjoy the simple act of being. These moments of self-control are not small, they are the building blocks of a peaceful mind and a fulfilling life. And tonight, as you prepare for sleep, you have the opportunity to practice self-control by letting go of any thoughts, worries, or impulses that might prevent you from resting. By choosing sleep, you choose to nourish yourself, both mentally and physically. Philosophers still debate whether self-control is something that can be fully mastered or whether it's a continuous practice. Some argue that self-control is something we must work at every day, while others believe that once we've developed it, it becomes a natural part of who we are. The Stoics, however, understood that self-control is a lifelong practice. It's not something you can achieve once and for all, it's something you cultivate every day through awareness, patience, and persistence. Each time you choose to act with self-control, whether it's by letting go of a stressful thought or by choosing rest over overwork, you strengthen your ability to live with intention. And tonight, as you lie in bed, you have the opportunity to practice self-control by allowing your body and mind to relax and rest. This doesn't mean you're ignoring the challenges of the day or pretending that everything is perfect. It simply means that you're making the conscious decision to let go, to stop fighting with yourself, and to embrace rest. You don't need to control everything. You only need to control what's within your power, your thoughts, your actions, and your response to the present moment. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, feel yourself letting go of any remaining tension. You don't need to control the world, and you don't need to control your thoughts. Instead, focus on what's within your power, your breath, your body, and the peace that comes with choosing rest. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes not from controlling everything around us, but from controlling ourselves. And tonight, as you prepare to sleep, you are practicing that freedom. By choosing peace, by choosing self-control, you allow yourself to rest deeply and wake up tomorrow with clarity and energy. As you sink further into the comfort of your bed, your body completely relaxed and your breath even and steady, let's turn to a Stoic principle that might seem a bit unusual in a bedtime setting, but one that holds deep power for creating peace and stillness: the art of detachment. Now, detachment doesn't mean that you become indifferent to the world around you or disconnect from your emotions. Rather, it's about learning to let go of attachments to things, ideas, or even people that might cause you stress or unrest. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, taught that the key to peace is in recognizing that much of what we attach ourselves to is beyond our control. We cling to ideas, expectations, or outcomes that we can't control, and when those things don't go as planned, we experience frustration and anxiety. But what if you could let go of those attachments and simply allow things to unfold as they are, without trying to control or judge them? That's what the Stoics practiced, detaching from outcomes, and instead focusing on how we respond to them. As you lie here preparing for sleep tonight, this practice of detachment can be incredibly useful. You might have moments in your day that caused stress or worry, things you couldn't control or outcomes that didn't go as planned. But tonight, the Stoic advice is simple: detach. Let go of the need to control the world around you, and instead, focus on how you can control your own thoughts and reactions. Imagine that you are holding a delicate object in your hand. The object is important to you, and you want to keep it safe, but you know that it's fragile. If you grip it too tightly, you may risk damaging it. If you hold it too loosely, it could slip away. The key is finding the balance, holding it gently, and with awareness. In many ways, this is how the Stoics viewed attachment. They didn't believe in abandoning things entirely, but in holding on to them lightly, without the intense grip that leads to suffering. Life, the Stoics taught, is full of impermanence. Things come and go, relationships, material possessions, even moments of happiness or sorrow. The more tightly we hold on to these things, the more we risk our peace of mind when they change or disappear. Detachment, therefore, is about accepting the fluid nature of life and learning to release our grip on things that we cannot control. As you lie here, breathing deeply, let this practice of detachment take hold. Imagine that you're gently letting go of anything that might be troubling you, worries about the future, frustrations from the day, or even unattained expectations. Release them like leaves floating on a river, moving effortlessly away from you. This act of releasing is not about indifference or apathy. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight that comes with attachment. As you focus on your breath, consider how your mind often becomes attached to thoughts, worries, or plans that are beyond your control. Perhaps there's something that's been on your mind, something you've been stressing about or worrying over. The Stoics would suggest that you acknowledge it without judgment, and then gently release it. The idea is that we can't control the course of events or the actions of others, but we can control how we react to them. Letting go of the attachment to outcomes gives us freedom. This freedom allows you to sleep peacefully, knowing that you don't have to solve everything tonight. Tonight, your job is to rest. You don't need to fix the world, and you don't need to carry the weight of your worries with you. Detachment is the key to releasing that burden, allowing your body and mind to rest fully without the interference of external concerns. Philosophers still debate whether detachment is a healthy practice or if it leads to emotional disengagement. Some argue that detachment can create a sense of emotional numbness, while others believe that it fosters a deeper sense of inner peace by focusing on what's within our control. The Stoics, however, would argue that detachment is not about becoming emotionally cold or indifferent. It's about recognizing the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. The Stoics were fully engaged with life. They didn't retreat into isolation or deny the world around them. They simply understood that emotional peace comes from detaching from the things that are beyond their control, not allowing those things to dictate their happiness or well-being. In this sense, detachment is not a withdrawal from life. It's a healthy and intentional release of the emotional grip we often hold onto unnecessary things. It's a choice to stop letting things control us, and instead choosing how we respond. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, detachment becomes the tool that allows you to relax fully. By detaching from any lingering thoughts or worries, you free your mind to rest peacefully. Now, think for a moment about the impact this practice of detachment can have on your ability to sleep. How often do you lie in bed, your mind racing with thoughts of what went wrong today or what could go wrong tomorrow? Detachment gives you the power to step back from those thoughts and let them go. It's about recognizing that the thoughts and worries that arise aren't necessarily true. They're just passing mental events that don't need to control your mood or your peace. When you practice detachment, you recognize that you are not your thoughts. You are not your worries. You are simply the observer of them. And with that awareness, you can choose to let them pass. This practice creates a space of calm in your mind, one where sleep can naturally follow. Think about how liberating it would feel to simply let go of the need to control every outcome. When you hold things lightly, without attachment, You allow them to be what they are, without overburdening yourself with expectations or anxiety. This doesn't mean you stop caring about what happens or stop striving for improvement. It simply means that you stop carrying the weight of everything all at once. Letting go of attachment is a gentle act of self-care. It's about making space for peace and rest in your life. As you lie here tonight, imagine yourself releasing any remaining tension, releasing any lingering attachment to thoughts, worries, or concerns that have no place in your rest. Let them float away and make room for the calm that comes with allowing life to unfold as it will. As you drift closer to sleep, feel the sense of freedom that comes with detachment. You are not weighed down by external circumstances. You are free to rest fully and peacefully because you have chosen to release what you cannot control. Sleep comes naturally when you let go of the need to fix everything, to worry about everything, and instead allow yourself to simply be. The Stoics understood that peace comes from within, and that detachment is the path to that peace. So tonight, embrace the freedom of detachment and let it guide you into the restful, rejuvenating sleep you deserve. You are free to rest, free to release, and free to embrace the present moment fully, knowing that tomorrow will bring new opportunities for growth, but tonight is yours to rest. As you lie here, feeling the deep calm settling over your body, your breath slow and steady, let's take a moment to reflect on the Stoic concept of inner peace, an essential idea that will help guide you to rest tonight. Inner peace, in the Stoic sense, isn't a passive state of simply avoiding stress or discomfort. Instead, it's an active practice of aligning your thoughts, actions, and reactions with nature and virtue. The Stoics believed that true peace comes not from external circumstances, but from how we choose to respond to those circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, writes, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The Stoics understood that peace comes from within, from the way we manage our inner world, not from the outer world. Tonight, as you prepare to sleep, think about how this idea applies to your own life. Are you at peace with the thoughts and emotions that arise in your mind, or do you find yourself caught up in them, allowing them to dictate your state of mind? The Stoics taught that it's not the events of our lives that disturb us, but our judgments about those events. By practicing self-awareness and aligning our thoughts with reason and virtue, we can create a peaceful inner world, one that is not easily disturbed by external circumstances. Take a moment now, as you breathe deeply, to reflect on the thoughts that have filled your mind today. Perhaps there are moments you wish had gone differently, or thoughts that have been weighing heavily on your mind. The Stoics would remind you that it is not the thoughts themselves that cause distress, but the attachment to those thoughts. When we allow our thoughts to control us, when we become attached to them, we lose our sense of peace. But when we practice mindfulness and self-awareness, we can separate ourselves from our thoughts, choosing which ones to engage with and which ones to let go. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, reflect on the thoughts that have occupied your mind. Are there any thoughts or worries that you can release? Perhaps there are unresolved feelings or concerns about the day. The Stoics would encourage you to acknowledge those thoughts, but not to cling to them. Recognize that they are temporary, fleeting, and that you have the power to release them. By choosing to let go of the thoughts that disturb your peace, you create the space for restful sleep. Let's dive a bit deeper into what true inner peace looks like in a Stoic context. The Stoics believed that peace isn't the absence of discomfort, but the ability to maintain tranquility in the face of it. In other words, peace is not about eliminating stress or challenges from our lives. It's about developing the resilience to remain calm, centered, and rational, no matter what external events occur. Life is unpredictable. We can't control the world around us, but we can control how we react to it. The Stoics taught that by cultivating virtue, we create a stable foundation for our peace. Virtue, for the Stoics, was living in accordance with nature, with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. It's a way of living that allows us to meet life's challenges with calm and purpose. Tonight, as you lie here in bed, consider the ways in which you have practiced virtue today. Were you wise in your decisions? Were you courageous in facing challenges? Were you just in your interactions with others? The Stoics believed that when we live virtuously, we align ourselves with nature and with what is truly important. This alignment brings peace, an inner peace that isn't shaken by external events. By focusing on living virtuously, we create a foundation of calm that allows us to rest easy now. Let's take a step back and think about the role of acceptance in creating inner peace. Acceptance, according to the Stoics, is the ability to embrace life as it is, without resistance. Life is full of challenges, disappointments, and unexpected twists. But the Stoics taught that we can only find peace by accepting that these things are part of the natural order of life. When we resist what is, we create internal conflict. But when we accept life's impermanence and unpredictability, we free ourselves from suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean passive resignation. It means acknowledging the reality of the present moment and choosing to move forward with calm and clarity. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, think about any areas of your life where you might be resisting what is. Is there something you're holding on to, something that's preventing you from finding peace? The Stoics would encourage you to accept it not as a sign of weakness, but as an act of wisdom. By accepting what is beyond your control, you release the tension that keeps you from experiencing peace. This acceptance doesn't mean that you won't take action to improve your life. It means that you're no longer fighting against the natural flow of life. Philosophers still argue whether true inner peace is attainable, or if it's a fleeting moment that slips through our fingers. Some believe that peace is something we must strive for every day, while others argue that it's an inherent state of being that can be realized through mindfulness and awareness. The Stoics, however, believed that inner peace was something we could cultivate and nurture through practice. It's not something that happens by accident or by avoiding challenges. It's something that we create intentionally by aligning our thoughts, actions, and reactions with virtue and reason. By practicing mindfulness and acceptance, by letting go of attachment to outcomes, and by choosing to live with intention, we create the conditions for inner peace to thrive. And tonight, as you prepare for sleep, you have the opportunity to practice this peace. You don't need to fight with yourself or the world around you. Simply choose to rest in the present moment, accepting it as it is, and allowing your mind to settle into calm as you breathe deeply. Think about the peace that comes from accepting the present moment. You don't need to change anything, fix anything, or control anything. Right now, all you need to do is rest. In this moment, you are enough. There's nothing more to prove, nothing more to worry about. The world will continue to turn, and you will continue to grow. But for now, you can simply be. This is the essence of Stoic peace, accepting what is, living with intention, and finding tranquility within. So, as you prepare to fall asleep, let go of any thoughts that might disturb your peace. Let go of any worries or anxieties. You've done your best today, and now it's time to rest. Peace is found within you, in the stillness of the present moment. Let that peace guide you into a restful, rejuvenating sleep, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, and that tomorrow will bring new opportunities to live with clarity and purpose. As you continue to rest comfortably, letting the quiet stillness of the night deepen, we come to the final reflection of tonight's journey, the importance of letting go, of surrendering to the peace that comes with acceptance and trust. The Stoics, in all their wisdom, recognized that true freedom comes from releasing the need to control every aspect of our lives. Imagine for a moment that you're holding tightly to a rope. The rope is connected to everything in your life: stresses, the plans, the worries. You've been holding it for so long, and your hands are beginning to ache. But the moment you release the rope, there's a profound sense of relief. The tension dissolves, and you can finally rest. This is the essence of what the Stoics taught about letting go. It's not about giving up. It's not about giving up, surrendering the need to control outcomes, releasing attachments to the unknown, and embracing life as it is. When you stop grasping, you allow peace to wash over you. Tonight, as you lie in bed, this is exactly what you can do. You've spent the day doing what you could, handling what came your way. Now, it's time to let go. Surrender to the quiet of the night. There's nothing more to do, no worries that need to be solved right now. The Stoics believed that this kind of surrenders, this peaceful acceptance, was the key to tranquility. It's the acknowledgement that while life will always bring its challenges, the best way to navigate them is not by fighting against the flow, but by moving with it. As you continue to breathe deeply, feel the soft rhythm of your breath, the rise and fall of your chest. Each breath is an invitation to relax deeper, to surrender further. You don't need to keep holding on to the day's thoughts, your worries, or your plans. Tonight, sleep is your gift, your time to restore your body and mind, to simply let go of everything. The Stoics understood the importance of living in harmony with nature and the natural rhythm of life. They believed that just as there are seasons in nature, there are seasons in our lives, times of action and times of rest. Sleep, for them, wasn't an escape or something to be resisted, was an essential part of the natural flow of life. It was an opportunity to reset, to detach from the waking world, and to embrace the restorative powers of stillness. And tonight, you are honoring that cycle. As you lie here, think of your body as a vessel, one that has worked hard today, one that has carried you through the challenges of the day. Now, it's time to allow it to rest, to recharge, and to prepare for the new opportunities tomorrow will bring. There's nothing more to prove tonight. Let go of the need to fix anything, to worry about anything. Instead, simply be, knowing that you are enough as you are. This practice of letting go ties deeply into the Stoic concept of control. The Stoics understood that we cannot control the future, we cannot control other people, and we cannot control every event in our lives. What we do have control over, however, is how we respond to these external forces. By surrendering to what is beyond our control, we free ourselves from unnecessary anxiety and frustration. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, consider what it would be like to let go of all the things you cannot control. Imagine releasing your grip on them, one by one. Maybe it's worries about work, or relationships, or things that have happened in the past. Whatever it is, release it. The Stoics would tell you that this is not a weakness, but a strength, a choice to embrace peace over resistance. You have already done what you could today, and now it's time to rest. By letting go of the mental clutter, you open up the space for true rest. In that rest, you allow yourself to recharge for the days ahead, knowing that tomorrow will come with its own challenges and joys. And you'll face them with the same calm, purposeful mindset. One of the most comforting things about Stoic thought is its emphasis on acceptance. The Stoics did not believe in denying the difficulties of life or pretending that everything is always fine. They acknowledged that life is full of hardship, uncertainty, and even suffering. However, they also believed that we have the power to choose our response to those hardships. The practice of letting go is not about denying the reality of challenges. It's about choosing how we engage with them. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from unnecessary emotional turmoil and create space for peace. As you lie here tonight, you may have thoughts or worries that are difficult to let go of, and that's okay. The Stoics would remind you that it's perfectly natural to feel a range of emotions. What matters is how we respond. You don't need to push those feelings away, but you can choose to let them drift by, like clouds passing through the sky. Just as the night sky remains calm despite the passing clouds, you can find peace even when your thoughts are active. This peaceful detachment doesn't require effort or force it, simply requires awareness. Recognize that these thoughts are temporary, that they don't define you, and that you have the power to let them go as you prepare to slip into sleep. Know that you have already accomplished what was necessary today. You have faced whatever challenges came your way, and now you can rest. This is a time of peace, of renewal. The Stoics believed that sleep wasn't just a physical need, it was a vital part of our emotional and spiritual well-being. It was a time to recharge, to reflect, and to prepare for the future. So tonight, as you settle in, remind yourself that you've done what you could, and now it's time to let go of the things that are beyond your control. Sleep is the perfect opportunity to practice this surrender. You don't need to carry the weight of the day with you into the night. Allow yourself to relax fully, knowing that rest is a form of self-care, just as much as action is. The Stoics were not opposed to rest. They saw it as an essential part of living with wisdom and balance. And tonight, as you rest, you are following in their footsteps. So, as you let your body and mind relax deeper into the comfort of your bed, feel the sense of peace that comes with releasing everything that no longer serves you. Allow the quiet of the night to embrace you, knowing that you are enough as you are, and that tomorrow will bring new opportunities for growth and clarity. For now, you can rest deeply, peacefully, and fully. This is your time to surrender, to let go, and to prepare for the journey ahead. Sleep well, knowing that peace is within you, and that you have done all you can today.